So I'm now going to show you the water system on a Swift product. This will be more or less the same on any of the products that that Swift produce. So again, back over to the command panel, which I believe is featured in all of their products. The only one I'm not certain of is the Sprite range, but I believe this is the panel which you're going to see in all of their products this year. I'm going to now turn the water pump system on, but before I should do that, I need to make sure the taps are all turned off, and the drain down valve, which is underneath this bed box, it's a yellow-blue valve. I'll just show where it's located so you can see it for yourself. This valve down here, that needs to be in a closed position, so that's closed. If I raise it, you'll hear the water gush out, and then I've closed it off again. So that is the closed position. That will allow us to gain water inside. If that's open, any water that's coming in is draining straight onto the ground. So I'm going to go back to the pump and make the pump live. I want that to have a yellow, I believe, square around it. You can hear the pumps running. And I'm going to come straight over. It's an internal pump, by the way. I'm going to come straight over to the kitchen tap, and I always get running water through on the cold side first, personally myself. It's a personal feature, that's just me. So open up the tap, and we should get running water through quite quickly on the cold side. And I'm going to bring that tap through into the hot position. And as you can see, we've primed this already. That would normally take around about a minute before you get a nice steady stream of water like that. Once we've got that running, we can turn that off. The pump will run for about 10 seconds, more or less on cue. It runs on for about 10 seconds, building up pressure. And then we could, if we wish to, bleed the other two taps, i.e. the vanity basin and also the shower mixer if you want to. As long as I've got water to here, my boiler is full of water, and that's the main feature I'm concerned with, making sure that boiler is full of water. And that's before then I turn on the LD heating system. Okay, so I'm now going to operate it not off the command panel. I'm hopefully going to operate it off this particular panel, the LD panel itself, because you can do it two ways. If I go into menu, well, before I go there, let's just say it's got mains present. That's what that symbol says there. This is a timer or a clock. It's a clock really, and this is how you'd adjust to make it the right time. It's a 24-hour clock, so I've got to go right down to 1, which is 13, and we're more or less at 1 o'clock. 6 minutes past 1 it is.
Oh, 6 minutes past your lunchtime.
All right, there you go. We're going to be finishing soon then, so I'm going to set that clock as that, and now you can see the time featured there. I could increase the room thermostat if I wish it to get there, but this thermostat here is already telling me that the internal temperature inside this caravan right now, as we are today, with the sun shining, beautiful, in August, it's 32 degrees. And as the maximum temperature I can increase it to is only 30, we're never going to get central heating to work, because obviously our temperature is below what the internal temperature is right now. So I press menu because I might want to get hot water. And again, it just repeats that 32 degrees is the internal temperature. I choose my energy supply. I've got it on 1 kilowatt right now to heat that, and if I want to put the gas system on, I have to slide my finger over that way, and as you can see, probably that little slidey feature, I don't know if you can see it, it's now in an on position, but I'm going to turn it off because we haven't got a gas supply on this vehicle, and I've just turned it off. If I want to increase the kilowatt that I'm using, that's 1 kilowatt, that's now 2 kilowatts, that's 3 kilowatts as replicated there, but I'm only going to operate it on 1 kilowatt because I don't want to blow my site electrics. And this says one of two menus. So at the moment, yes, I'm asking it to work off mains electrics. If I press the second menu, it's got other features here for high altitude. That's if you're above 1,000 meters, say in the Alps or Pyrenees or something like that on a campsite. If you've got it working on gas, you need to have that set because it puts an additional fan on. I'm going to try and turn it back off. Come on, you should go. There you go. Turn it back off again. Load monitors, normally optional extras. I'm not quite certain whether the exclusive have got it, but monitors are where you don't overload your your main supply coming into the caravan. So if you're on a 10 amp supply, you could put a load monitor to register that you don't exceed 10 amps. So therefore you don't trip your mains on site. And it always prioritises electrics, or you could have it prioritise gas, which is that feature there. Now it says priority of gas. But I'm going to go back to as it was as factory set, which is electrics. Right, so that's one of two features there, and we've asked it to heat up hot water. Just want to make sure I've got that right. Yes, we have. If I press menu again, then we come into all the features here. This is one of 3 menus. I'm not going to go through all these because they're too, most people won't use everything that we've got here. One I'll tell you not to touch is pump. Don't change the pump, it's on auto. Please leave it on auto. Let's go into another menu, missed it. Go into another menu, go into the top right. Calibration of the sensors, change of display, which I can go into. I can change the status page. Let me go into that, and I want to make it invert. So I've changed it right now. And what that does is make this display go dull here. I can still read it, it's saying 5 degrees on this, and I've got mains and I can still see the time looking directly onto it, but I'm not getting a full blast illumination. But I'm going to revert that back for you when I find it again. Second feature, display, put it back onto normal, which is that one. Back on normal, come back to where it was, and you can see that's now well illuminated. You can see what it's saying. Okay, one more. There's third one, third feature, reset. Whatever that last word says, because you might have mistakenly put it into a foreign language, because you can change the language on this. If you put it into a foreign language, whatever that last word is on the third menu, it's so that you can put it back to factory reset. Now factory reset will put it back into English. It will also put it back to standard times and things like that. So just be aware that when you press reset, everything changes. So if you put timers on, it loses those timers and it comes back to standard. Right, so that's it. Up and running on the Audi heating system. The water is up and running and getting warm at the moment, so we might see if we can get warm water in a moment. So I'm coming off that panel, coming off the command panel, and for now I'm going to have my lunch.